Alright, 2018 is over and I would like to review my year. So I've started in January in Taiwan, where I celebrated the New Year's Eve for the third time. Again, amazing fireworks, Taipei 101, just fantastic. Yeah, the year before Burj Khalifa was also great, but Taiwan is still the best place to celebrate New Year. So come visit Taiwan, but not only New Year, all year round, it's just awesome. And no matter where I am in this world, I always miss Taiwan. Anyway, I left Taiwan early on, 6th January or something. I flew to Vietnam.
So, back in Ho Chi Minh. I love the city because it is so cheap, but I hate the city because it is so dirty. It's almost like India.
Ho Chi Minh, because Vietjet Air offers cheap flights from Taipei to Ho Chi Minh, about $50 one way. It's a pretty good offer. So I guess it's the 5th or the 6th time Vietnam. I've been a couple of times because I really love Vietnam. It's hot, I like hot weather, it's cheap and nice people, it's just convenient. So I spent two weeks in Ho Chi Minh. It's not much traveling, just chilling, going to the gym, planning my trip, booking flights for the rest of the year. Then I flew north from Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. Yeah, even though it's my 5th time in Vietnam, it was the first time I've been to Hanoi. And I was fascinated by the city. It's a great city. I don't know which city is better, Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi. Both cities are just amazing. It was a bit cold though in January, so I had to use a heater in the apartment. And I spent there also about 2 weeks, but I've traveled a bit in north because it was the first time. So my German friend Annette came to Hanoi, and we went together to Halong Bay. Halong Bay, beautiful place. The weather wasn't too good, wasn't rainy though, but it was cold. It was cold, freezing, so it wasn't good for swimming. Although the water is clear, it's too cold. It's still beautiful for the landscape, nice to go around with the boat, see all these rocks in the water. Very fascinating. I wish I could come back again when the weather is better, like when it's hotter in summer. I guess it's better than winter. From there we drove back to Ho Chi Minh. From Ho Chi Minh we took some day trips. There was like a cave, I forgot the name, but it is like almost 3 hours by motorbike. So we rented a scooter in Hanoi, and from there we drove to this cave. Very fascinating, beautiful, beautiful cave. I met nice people on the boat. Simply had a good time. But on the way back, I got something in the eye on the motorbike, and I got this eye infection, which lasted for like 2-3 weeks. I had like stuck like a, I don't know how you call it, a sore eye. It was super red, it was sticky, really bad. And after 2 weeks, I couldn't even see clearly, so I was afraid my vision would be impaired permanently. So anyway, everything is fine. It recovered after 6-7 weeks. Then yeah, we had some problems in Hanoi because we planned to go to Laos. Our original destination was Thailand, Bangkok, because Annette is my childhood friend, and we have a common friend who's getting married in Thailand. It's the second time already. His first marriage, but his second wedding, because the first one was in Germany last year. So this year in Thailand, the second time. So we planned to go to Laos, and from Laos to Thailand. So, but there was this so-called Tet holiday. Yeah? It's like Chinese New Year's, exactly the same time, and very similar customs. It was nice. They had fireworks and stuff, lots of activities in the city. Really enjoyed the time, but there was a problem because during this time there were no buses going to Laos.
Welcome to Laos. I still have my eye infection, that's why I just bought some eye drops in the pharmacy.
So we just couldn't take the bus, and yeah, we could take the bus, but 2 days later. So our whole plan was shifted back, and we are like in a rush in Laos because we haven't had much time. And then there was another problem regarding accommodation. We booked something online, but I haven't had mobile internet, and the taxi driver said when we arrived, oh, this place is not here. It's not in, what's the name? Luang Prabang. We went from Hanoi to Luang Prabang with a night bus, so we slept in the bus. And when we arrived, couldn't get mobile internet, we arrived at night, and the taxi driver said, it's not here, sorry. Yeah, so you can go there tomorrow. Yeah, so he just drove us to the city center. So we went to a hotel, but everything was booked. We couldn't find a place to sleep. So one hotel offered us to sleep on the floor. We slept on the floor for $20. By the way, I made an entire video about this, like the Laos country review. Like I do so many country reviews, but this time I do this the year review. So you can watch this for the details. So we slept on the floor. And next morning on the internet we found out this hotel wouldn't be so far away. Actually it is in the city. The taxi driver was lying. So anyway, we got another hotel the next day, $60, very expensive for Laos. One night we could spend in a hotel, still had fun, went to the waterfall, they had bears and beautiful nature. So yeah, we enjoyed the time in Luang Prabang except for my eye. They also had temples which are nice with a river cruise. Beautiful, beautiful, you know. And then from there we took another night bus to the capital Vientiane. But because we are running short on time, we had to take another night bus immediately the night after from Vientiane to Bangkok. So we couldn't sleep in Vientiane, so we just went out of the bus, went to a hostel and asked them, could you store our bags, can we take a shower? We gave them $3, I think. They were nice, so they take care of our bag. We took a shower and then we went to this temple, this Buddha garden, beautiful place. Highly recommended, I think the main attraction. I always dreamt of going there in the past, and this year finally I've made it. Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of Street Fighter, where Sagat fights in the garden in front of the Buddha statue. It looks exactly the same. Beautiful place, highly recommended. Yeah, then another night bus. Very tiring for Annette because she's not used to traveling. Even for me it was exhausting, but she was totally very, very in the end of her nerves. She was already weak. But then when we arrived in Bangkok, her luggage was gone. I mean, it never happened to me, but for her, somebody took the luggage from the bus. So we arrived and the luggage wasn't there. Really sad. So she couldn't have the luggage. She was burst out crying in the mall, because her insurance even said they don't want to refund her since she has no proof. Anyway, happy end, she got the money back a couple of months later. But at this moment she was very down. And, she had everything for the wedding. yeah, and then we had to go ahead. She had to buy new stuff, yeah, for the wedding. Anyway, then we went to the wedding. Beautiful time again, with my half German Thai friend Ek, amazing guy, and his wife Sarah. Beautiful wedding as well. We had a lot of fun. All the Thai, the culture, it was super interesting. It was like a countryside in Korat. Really cool. Not too far from Bangkok, like 2-3 hours by bus. Then from there, back to Bangkok. And from Bangkok I flew to Bangladesh.
Welcome to Bangladesh. Welcome to Dhaka. Today we're here in the Shakari Bazaar, and it's the Holy Festival. Although this is a Muslim country, they still have a little Hindu district where they're going to celebrate this festival.
I mean, yeah, not many. I think I was the only foreigner, white guy on a plane to Bangladesh from Bangkok that day. Although there are very few foreigners in Bangladesh. Most people go there for business, not for traveling. But I went there for traveling. $50 entrance for Bangladesh. I remember waiting at the airport, lining up, and there were so many mosquitoes. Like, I had to walk around so they won't bite me, and the guy on the immigration was laughing, because he knows, And I had that mosquito spray, that would kill me, if I just stand around. So I got bitten not so many times, paid $50, got into the city. They have Uber in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, so it's convenient to get around. But it is not so cheap. Compared to India, it's more expensive, Bangladesh. I've expected Bangladesh to be cheaper than India, but not. India is cheaper. Still not too expensive. Well, like 25-minute ride, $5. It's just not crazy cheap like it used to, but it's much cheaper in Europe or the US or anywhere else. So, getting a couch surfing host. My first couch surfing experience this year was in Bangladesh. So, Jihad was my host, an amazing guy, very friendly. He showed me around the city. We met with another couchsurfing host. In those places where not many tourists go, it's always easy to find a couchsurfing host. Like if you go to New York City, to Berlin, it's super hard to find a host. I wouldn't even try. But in Bangladesh, it's too easy. Just you can choose where you want to stay. So a private bedroom, nice guy. He has his own servant, which was a bit annoying. Watch my Bangladesh videos. And the highlight of Bangladesh was in fact the Indian festival, the Hindu festival. It's called Holi, where people use the colors and throw each other the colors in the face and dance, laugh, have fun. But it's only a very small district in Dhaka because Bangladesh is basically the Muslim version of India, so not many people celebrate this festival in fact. But there are Hindus, so I went to this district, we had fun. Actually, this festival should go for 2 days, but unfortunately it was cancelled because somebody got killed, some kids had some fight and they stabbed each other. I don't know what happened. Anyway, it got cancelled after half day. Anyway, half day of fun, it was still cool. Then exploring more of the city. River cruise, again organized by Jihad. I remember his name because the holy war is Muslims, Jihad. So we went on the river cruise with food, not beautiful landscapes, a lot of factories, in fact, very bad air, lots of air pollution. So Bangladesh, unfortunately, one of the dirtiest places I've visited this year. Especially the air, they're having those brick factories which cause all this air pollution. But it was still nice. Then I booked the wrong flight, lost $25 I think. Lost the flight, paid $50 to Kolkata. In Kolkata, I must say, it's a beautiful city. It's relatively clean for Indian standards. I like Kolkata more than Delhi or Kolkata or Mumbai, where I had been the year before, 2 years ago. I enjoyed my time in Kolkata. The only thing is with internet in India. Mobile internet, it takes ages to get the registered. You have to wait a few days and stuff. Since I only stayed there for a short time, I hadn't had mobile internet. Just stayed in Kolkata, I forgot 2-3 days, checked out the city, and from there I took a bus to the border to Bhutan.
Welcome to Bhutan. This is Thimphu, the capital, and this is the central street where I'm walking right now.
Because I wanted to always visit Bhutan. It's very top on my bucket list, so this year tick off this wonderful place, Bhutan. Very expensive though. I was paying, I think, more than $800 for 4 days, 3 nights. They were all inclusive, with food, like an own guide, own driver. Yeah, good package. So it's expensive, but it's affordable. Once in a lifetime, and I enjoyed my time there. So I don't regret going there. But it was in fact very expensive for me. So I had to save a lot of money to get there. But yeah, beautiful country. Just almost no tourists. Very, 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 very clean. Nature amazing. The temples. My guide Casey, her name, was also cool. She showed me around. They have no graveyards, for example. They only they put the ashes of the people into the woods, stuff like this. Very, very unique country. Tobacco is illegal. The old king has 4 wives who are all sisters, so he married the whole family. That's also the craziest thing. Only in Bhutan, you will not find this somewhere else in this world. But it was the old king. The new king only had 1 wife. His dad, I think, was that guy. Yeah, a crazy cool country. Enjoyed my time there. A bit too short. Visiting the monks, the abbeys, the monasteries. Then back to India, back to the border. Yeah, and then a very, very tiring journey began. The most tiring journey of this year, from the Bhutan border to Nepal, to the border.
Good morning from Nepal. So now we arrived here at the border town of Kakarpita, that's the name.
Took almost 24 hours. I arrived at night, the border was closed. You can just walk over the border to Nepal, yeah? But without having a visa. You could just stay illegally, but you would have problems flying out. So I just slept there in a hotel, walked back to the border, got my stamp, got my visa. I was also on arrival, $40 something. Annoying those visa on arrival fees. Then took the night bus from there to the capital, Kathmandu. The worst night bus in the world, the worst streets in the world, very bumpy roads. It's impossible to sleep. Yeah, luggage falling down from the top. Yeah, you once fall asleep, you like wake up because the bus drives through a pothole. So it was the worst night. I arrived super tired, slept there in the bed. Then I had a friend from Thailand come visiting me. We traveled together for a while. So I had an amazing time in Nepal. Although Nepal was one of the dirtiest countries again. Like Bangladesh, a little bit better, but still very, very bad air. Very poor air quality. Many people wearing masks and stuff, especially in Kathmandu. But we went early from Kathmandu to Pokhara. Pokhara is a little bit better. The nature there is more beautiful, less pollution. Renting a motorbike, going around, getting a $5 ticket for not wearing a helmet. Staying at the lake. Not doing too much, just enjoying the nature in the mountains. No activities. Then heading back to Kathmandu. And Kathmandu was in fact still, even though it was dirty, it was more interesting because there's more culture. There are lots of temples. You can see the dead people, they're burning them and putting them in the river, in the temple, the monkeys, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, enjoyed the time very much. Oh yeah, in Pokhara I did a farm stay, staying at one guy's farm, feeding the cows and stuff. It was interesting. It was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed my time in Nepal a lot. Then I flew from Nepal to, by the way, I've never saw the Mount Everest. I tried, but the air quality is so bad. I went to the viewpoint, but you don't see anything because of smog. Then I saw the Mount Everest, time to come back, but hopefully next time from Tibet I can see it. So anyway, then I flew from Kathmandu over Dubai to Kuwait. Yeah, just changing flights in Dubai. It was the year before in Dubai. So this was the first time. Kuwait!
Welcome to Kuwait. I just arrived yesterday night after a long flight from Nepal over Dubai.
Kuwait, second couchsurfing experience. Mohammed, amazing Egyptian guy living in Kuwait. Super nice guy. He invited me to dinner. He was one of the friendliest couchsurfing hosts. Also the country itself, I just spent the 2 nights, but I loved it. It's like Dubai, but more interesting, less touristy. They have interesting cuisine, the food, very clean, very, very modern, very convenient. Great place to live. A lot of Filipinos work there because the cheap labor. Yeah, a very cultural experience, and I wish I could come back. Rented a car there to get around because public transport is bad, and exploring the place. Then from Kuwait, I flew to Lebanon.
So I just arrived in Beirut in my wonderful new apartment with a little balcony.
Lebanon, next country. I was a bit worried going into Lebanon because I've been to Israel last year and they hate each other. They don't give you stamps at the border, but because I came from the land border, they could see Taba, it's the city in Egypt where you get to Israel, or if they would pay attention, they can see, oh, you must been to Israel. And the internet say, they will reject you for sure. Don't even try going there. But nothing happened. I got in and had a wonderful time in Lebanon. Another couchsurfing. I was in Bablo, forgot the name, city between Tripoli, the big city in the north, and Beirut, the capital. So Byblos, yeah, I think, yeah, stayed there couchsurfing. Cool guy, cool artist, and from there I could do day trips to Tripoli. Tripoli also met cool people. I enjoyed my time there because barely tourists. People say it's dangerous, but it's not. It's very safe. You just walk the streets. Yeah, and yeah, not many tourists, but still it was nice. Then Beirut is a nice city. Nature there is nice. I took a day trip to a place, Baalbek, where they have old Roman ruins. And in Baalbek, it's very close to the Syrian border, and you can hear the gunshots, yeah, because they're fighting in Syria.
I'll just stop there. Scary. This is
No, somebody died.
Really?
Yeah, one is died or wedding shooting.
And the war is going on. You can hear the shots. It was really scary, but it is safe since you don't cross the border. And the ruins were interesting as well. And then Beirut is such a multicultural city. Churches next to mosques and very nice food. I hang out with another couchsurfing guy who showed me around. Very interesting. Yeah, so beautiful place. Then from Beirut I flew to Cyprus.
Good morning from Cyprus. I just arrived yesterday night after my flight from Lebanon.
Cyprus, very interesting country as well. Mix between Greece and Turkish, since it's the last capital in the world, divided capital. I mean, yeah, because you have to pass a border to get to the Turkish side, and suddenly it's so different, the culture, like another country. That makes it so fascinating that the country is separated. It itself, it's just amazing. And then the Greek side is a bit nicer, I would say, but I like both places, both sides, and yeah, traveling around, getting a rental car again, driving around, exploring the beautiful, beautiful nature, the coast, the ruins, basically stuff like this. But yeah, traveling alone is boring. So still, it was nice. I had cliff jumping. That was one of the highlights. A very high cliff, a little scary, 10 meters or something. But it was really fun to just jump into the water. Then it's good for vacation, and it's not too expensive. Cyprus as well. They have euro, so back home in Europe, European Union, and I could use my Cyprus SIM card all around Europe later on. Which was convenient because the new roaming law, when you buy a SIM card in Europe, you can go take it all over, and use it without any roaming fees. So mobile internet works in Greece and the countries where I've been to afterwards. So yeah, cliff jumping was the highlight, ruins. Then flying from Cyprus to Greece.
Welcome to Greece. Welcome to Athens. I'm here in Athens at the ferry port. I'm just going to check my ferry tomorrow, which is going to Santorini.
Yeah, similar culture because they are also like Greek in Cyprus. So then in Greece, another couch surfing house was almost like it was an Airbnb house, but he was almost like couch surfing. Really nice guy. I was a Turkish guy. And yeah, Athens is beautiful. The graffiti in Athens is cool. The museums are interesting. The Greek mythology, the cult, the history, it's like my second favorite after Rome. Really interesting. The Acropolis itself, under construction, so not as beautiful as it used to be, but still nice view in the city. And yeah, Athens was cool. The only thing is, they are having a lot of strikes, so many times the boats doesn't work. So I had to stay longer in Athens than I planned, in fact. And then I could finally go from Athens to Santorini. Santorini, it's a beautiful island. Really enjoyed Santorini. It's just one of the most beautiful places in the world. The white houses, the cliffs, the sea. It was mind-blowing. Really. So I spent there 2 nights, I think. It was very expensive. Santorini is a very expensive place. Especially gas, you pay more than $2 per liter. It's like, there's like $8 per gallon. Imagine that in the US, where you pay $3, it's more than twice. Very expensive. Yeah, then from there, I took the boat again to Crete. Crete is the other island. In Crete, I was a bit tiring of traveling already, so I just went to a 5-star hotel, which is not too expensive. They're $50 all inclusive. Yeah, enjoyed there 1 night, I think, only, and then I just spent nearby in a place before I got back. So yeah, ate a lot, enjoyed my time, go to the pool, just relax, and I didn't see too much of Crete. So there I already started to get tired from traveling. That's the downside of traveling the world. I just imagine this everything in 1 year. It's already more than the average people. Like, and we're just talking about May now. Then from Crete I flew to Thessaloniki. Interesting old town. Again, just 2 nights checking out what is Thessaloniki like. Because from Thessaloniki I got a very cheap flight to Germany. 23 euro with Condor. It's almost a 3-hour flight. I think that's the cheapest flight I've ever took in my entire life. This hand luggage, but that's how I travel. Going to Germany. Flight wasn't even full, it was quite empty. It's $30 going to Germany from Greece. It's amazing. So, yeah, the flight I think from Crete to Thessaloniki was more than expensive than the flight from Thessaloniki to Germany to Düsseldorf, my hometown. So, finally back home. Yeah, my parents picked me up from the airport. Happy to see them again after 1 year of absence, like always. I promised them once a year go back to Germany. So they picked me up at the airport, stayed in Düsseldorf. I live in a small town called Erkrath, very close to Düsseldorf. Visiting friends, hanging out with, catching up with friends and family, basically other relatives, just enjoying 2 weeks of relaxing. Then traveling together with my parents in Europe. So we went together to Denmark, first time Denmark. So first we traveled in Germany. Sylt is an island in North Germany. It was very interesting. Bremen. And from there we went to Denmark, Copenhagen. Also a beautiful capital. It's just expensive, but it's beautiful. I could live there, but it wouldn't be so expensive. So very interesting city. Copenhagen, Denmark itself. People love to go swimming in the ice cold water. Nature is interesting. They have castles. You can see beautiful stuff. Then, from Denmark, we took the ferry to Sweden, new country, first time Sweden, but only south. I didn't go to Stockholm, hopefully in the future, and we didn't see any elks. So we went to South Sweden, Malmö, the city, and then we stayed in the countryside. Again, beautiful nature, but very similar to Europe. It is Europe, in fact. So, staying a bit in Sweden, just nature I can think of, and but that's it. Well, again, just 3 days. Then from Sweden, taking the boat back to Germany, to Rostock, a city in North Germany. From Rostock, we went with always a car, by the way, there. My parents have a car, so we drove from Rostock to Rügen. My parents' favorite spot in Germany, Rügen, is an island, half island. There's a bridge connecting it. So I don't know, since you don't have a boat, is it still an island? I don't know. Anyway, beautiful island, beautiful place. Rügen, we stayed there a while. Again, nature, beautiful nature, very interesting. Rügen, they have some old places from the Nazis, like the old houses and stuff. So you have some history as well. Then from Rügen to Berlin, seeing the wall, see so much stuff, it's getting tiring here. Even talking about it is already tiring. Going to Berlin, seeing, I think the third time in the German capital for me. So I've been more often to Ho Chi Minh than to Berlin. Then visiting Berlin, also just 2 nights I think, and then flying from Berlin, my parents took me to the airport, to Iceland.
Welcome to Iceland. Welcome to Reykjavik. Unfortunately, the weather is not the best.
Cheap flight Berlin, Iceland, less than $100. And then Iceland is a very expensive country and very cold. So I rented a car in Iceland and explored a beautiful nature. Iceland is one of the most beautiful countries in terms of nature in the world. I think the best ones are New Zealand, Canada, Austria, it's really nice. Switzerland, and Iceland is waterfalls. It's so unique. And long nights, like I never saw darkness in this place. In winter you never see light. It's dark. You can see the northern lights, but I went there in summer. Was it end of May? So I never saw a sunset. I always went to sleep before the sun went down and woke up. It was already bright. It's kind of a weird feeling. It was so expensive, so I stayed in hostels. You already paid $30 for a hostel dorm with nothing, no food or stuff. So but supermarkets are also expensive, but affordable. If you be careful, you can backpack there. So I still spend a shitload of money. Still less than Bhutan. Visiting around by car, the coast, waterfalls, stuff like this. And then 1 week, I think, and from there I flew to New York City.
So cool. I really love the Times Square. It's such a fascinating area. I mean, I've been to many places, but this really impressed me.
New York City. I flew to New Jersey, in fact. Staying at Airbnb, and I remember this little fat Airbnb lady. She was super nice. She took me to a diner and she taught me. She was married to an Ecuadorian guy living in Ecuador. She loves Ecuador, and right now I'm actually recording this video in Ecuador. I'm in Quito. I love Ecuador. She was right. Amazing country. So anyway, so New York City. So first New Jersey. Too nice, New Jersey. Getting to Manhattan, but staying in Brooklyn because Manhattan is too expensive. And then taking the subway to Manhattan, going Central Park, up the Rockefeller, all this stuff. Battery Park, Empire State. I didn't go up, it's expensive. There are a lot of cheap stuff. You can go to the MoMA for free on Fridays, 9/11 Museum free on Tuesdays. You can see Liberty State for free with the Staten Island Ferry. It's not like it's expensive, but you can always walk yourself around, eat in the supermarket and stuff, and enjoy New York City. It was one of the most mind-blowing experiences this year. I mean, everybody knows New York City, but being there is still a different feeling. Being in a movie. It's surreal. It's just amazing. So spending the entire week, and it's not enough. There's so much to see. Then from New York, renting a car from New York City and going north to Canada by car. A long road trip, 8 hours or so. And I don't understand the rules. People are always going too fast, but some people get stopped, get tickets, so it's like difficult. It's like if you always follow the rules, you'll be very slow. So I'm a bit confused. Anyway, we made it finally to Canada.
Welcome to Toronto, or I don't know even how to pronounce the name of the city. Toronto or Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto, but staying in Hamilton because I was traveling with a friend from Taiwan and she knew somebody there, so we could stay there for free. Staying at the house and doing trips to Toronto, interesting city. Again, not cheap, but interesting. Beautiful nature again, Canada, nature. Yeah, going hiking in Canada, and just hanging out. It was like, I think 4 days, so. Heading back south to New York City from there, long trip, bring my friend to the airport, then driving further. Philadelphia, Philly, a wonderful city. I love this TV series, it's always sunny in Philadelphia. So I really enjoyed my time in Philadelphia as well. Eating Philly sandwiches, so delicious but so expensive, $10 for a sandwich. I tried once, yeah, and it's good. Seeing the places, Rocky Statue, the park, and then heading further south to DC. Luckily in DC I also know somebody I could stay at. Don't need to do couch surfing, it's too difficult in the US anyway. Then I met one of my students also in DC, Andrew. Was an interesting experience to meet one of my first students this year. Great guy, so that's why I love teaching. That's how I can afford traveling the world, teaching always on the road. So I'm meeting Andrew in DC, visiting other places. The museum, DC is just amazing for museums. Every museum is free in DC, very interesting. The History Museum, and natural history and American history and space stuff. Really cool. Yeah. Then from DC I went to Baltimore. Yeah, so I returned a rental car in DC, took the bus to Baltimore. Baltimore, it's one of the worst cities in the US, I guess. Lots of homeless, it's like worse than San Francisco. I don't know. Yeah, Baltimore was still interesting to see, friendly people. And because from Baltimore they have Spirit, cheap airline, Spirit flying south to Orlando, yeah, $70 I think. Almost missed the flight. There I also met my good friend Scott, who I knew from Taiwan, who actually helped me to become a teacher. And I will meet him later in Colombia this year again. So I met him at the airport, almost missed my flight because the QR code wasn't showing and I didn't make a screenshot of my ticket. Luckily laptop worked, very, very close call, 5 minutes before departure I got on a plane, last person who bought the plane, first in my life. But I got a plane and I flew to Orlando. Orlando, yeah, what do you do in Orlando? Amusement parks, theme parks, Disneyland and Universal Studios, all this kind of stuff. Lots of fun there, yeah, being a kid again, going on a roller coaster, seeing the shows, Beauty and the Beast, Ariel, whatever they had, also Avatar and modern stuff, Star Wars, because Disney bought Star Wars, you know, not LucasArts, it's not Disney. So yeah, it was cool though, the shows, the roller coasters, and participating in Universal Studios in the Fear Factor thing was fun. Didn't win, but it was still exciting. Yeah, and then from there I rented a car again and went south to Miami. Miami is not the best place in the US. It's very artificial. Beach super expensive too, so I didn't like Miami that much. Went even south down to Key West, very long ride. Beautiful beaches though. Yeah, day trip from Miami to Key West. I don't recommend it. Yeah, so doing this and then yeah, flying out from Miami to Jamaica.
Yeah, welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to Kingston. I just arrived here yesterday, but I went straight to my apartment and I didn't see much of the city. And today I'm going a bit downtown, but there's not much to see in Kingston.
Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica was a very cool country. Weed, Rastafaris, reggae, just what you think of. It's just cool. It's just so much poorer than you expect. It's even worse than Baltimore. Well, it's like the whole country is like Baltimore. Lots of homeless, lots of poor people, so don't walk the streets at night. Be careful, nothing happened to me. Friendly people though. Being in Kingston first, from Kingston taking the bus to San Antonio, those shared taxis, cramping in with these fat women. Yeah, San Antonio nature was beautiful, cool host. Yeah, staying there shortly. Going to Ocho Rios, other city cruise ships, a bit more developed. Interesting but more expensive too. From there back to Kingston, and I must say I like Kingston the most because I like culture, and although it's less developed, it's very interesting to see people, lots of people smoking weed on the street and yeah, being just cool. I like the accent, the way they speak English, since English is their mother language, but you almost don't understand them because they speak Padua, which is their dialect. Yeah, and then like the culture is just interesting. Like the most famous musician is in prison for life because of murder and stuff like this. I don't know, crazy stories. Then also from there, taking a trip to the Rastafari camp in the Blue Mountains. There's no public transport directly to there, so you have to hitchhike a bit. It was complicated to get there, but it was totally worth it because it's very interesting to see all Rastafaris and learning about this religion. In fact, it is a religion. Rastafari, they believe like what the Bible believes, but they say the Bible is the truth. Jesus was a black man, and there was a second Jesus, Selassie, and UFO is going to come and destroy mankind unless you have dreadlocks. Yeah, probably that's why I have dreadlocks. Why I smoke weed just for fun, to say. Yeah, really cool. Then it was very difficult to get off Jamaica. I was thinking, oh, because it's so close to Haiti and to Cuba, maybe we can take a boat from there. I asked at the ferry terminal, I asked at the agencies, but no, you can't get off Jamaica by boat unless you come by a cruise ship going there for a stop. But you can't do a partial cruise. They don't have ferries or anything, so you're stuck in Jamaica. You have to fly out. So they book a flight last minute back to Miami, basically changing there, $330 going from Jamaica to Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago.
Very expensive journey, bought the cheapest I found last minute in summer high vacation, high season. Not so easy. So arriving at Trinidad and Tobago, very similar Caribbean flair. Yeah, black people, cool vibes, easygoing, relaxed, but a bit different, more developed. Yeah, and yeah, special, I would say. But immediately flying from Trinidad to Tobago, this small island, which is more nature, more safe, more tourists, very lots of tourists in fact, but still very expensive though. Public transport is bad, everything is expensive. It's being inconvenient again to travel, but again interesting. So did couch surfing, then got a cheap Airbnb, going around there for almost a week, seeing turtle laying eggs on the beach at night was probably a highlight. Although you paid $25 just to the guy to give you a call. Expensive. So, yeah, anyway, it was cool. Then flying back from there to, what was it, Trinidad.
So I'm back in Trinidad and in the same Airbnb house as before, Sheldon and Anadine.
Trinidad! Back Trinidad. I like Trinidad a bit more in fact, because it's more developed. They have good transport, cheap buses and stuff. Yeah, going to the city. I had a wonderful host, probably the best Airbnb host this year, although it's also quite expensive for this, like New York City. For a bedroom, $30 is not cheap. Sheldon and Anadine, I don't forget them. You guys are so amazing there. I love their relaxed attitude. I just love these Caribbean vibes. I guess I love the Caribbean. Yeah. So he showed me around many beautiful places, amazing hosts. We saw the scarlet ibis, those birds in the lake, flamingos. And there was a festival which was cool, like dance, a cultural festival. It was the Emancipation Day, yeah, where the country got independent from Britain and also were free. I don't even know what happened there. I think slavery got abolished. Yeah, so that's why they celebrate this day. Really cool. Yeah, parade, people walking, the stilts walkers, the Moko Jumbies. Yeah, how they call it, stilt walkers, dancing on the streets, cool music. Yeah, it was really fun. Then from there, flying to Suriname.
Welcome to Suriname. I'm really happy to be here because this country is very cheap. They are having an economical crisis, so prices are going down. And they're speaking Dutch, you know. So now, finally, 7 years of learning Dutch in the Netherlands is paying off.
Suriname. Very special. I love Suriname so much because again it's cheap. After coming from the Caribbean, Suriname, amazing. And they speak Dutch. Ja, ik kan een beetje Nederlands praten. Ik heb Dutch learned in school because my university was in Holland. So finally it came in handy to speak Dutch. Local people like in Holland, everybody speaks English, but in Suriname they only speak Dutch. Many people, yeah, so they don't speak English. So it was cool, able to speak Dutch. Very nice culture, the colonial buildings. Had a cool Airbnb house again, cheap $10 for an air-conditioned room. It was just so cool there. I loved it. Because the people I've met there were like really nice. Seeing the president, they had a festival, they had everything. It was cool. A week there, enjoyed my time very much. From there to Guyana, back to Caribbean vibes.
So most tourists come from England?
England, Germany, all over the world.
All over the world.
Although it's on the mainland in South America, it's very Caribbean style. African people and the vibes are similar. And again, it's more expensive, Caribbean prices as well. What was very cool there, taking a flight to the jungle, to this Kaicha Falls. Yeah, beautiful waterfall, mind-blowing. $165, you fly with a plane, 45 minutes there, land there, take a walk to this waterfall and fly back to the capital, Georgetown. Really cool, highly recommended. It was one of the highlights, mind-blowing experience. I also had a really nice Airbnb host again, so often the host, the people you meet, they are the highlights. It was a half British, half Guyanese girl. She was an author, Karina Sharpless, cool girl. Living at the house, really cool. I loved staying at the hangmat, seeing planes taking off because she lived very close to this small airport. But then leaving Guyana to Brazil was pretty troublesome. By the way, I met a Dutch guy in Suriname and I traveled with him until Colombia. So we took together this horrible jeep ride through night, 24 hours, through the jungle, bad roads, getting stuck many times, have to help the car, getting out of the mud. Very complicated journey. Yeah, but finally, we made it to the Brazilian border. And I still have, the most money I have right now is from Guyana, in fact, because at the border they offered me 25% less, and I thought, well, I just go to a bank in Brazil, they'll give me a bit more, and no bank takes Guyanese money, even though it's a neighbor country. So I couldn't exchange it. No, I'm still running around with $30 worth Guyanese money. Anyway, made it to Brazil.
So welcome to Brazil. We're here in the Aboriginal village.
Boa Vista, first stop. Lots of Venezuelan refugees since the crisis in Venezuela this year. Camping on the street, not too much to see in Boa Vista. From there, taking a night bus to Manaus, and Manaus was an amazing city. There I celebrate my birthday in August, met cool people, really nice. I love Brazilian people, they are so friendly, so kind, and it's a developed place. I want to go back there. The jungle, the monkeys, pink dolphins, the tribes, really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed Manaus a lot. Then flying from Manaus over Venezuela, just changing the flight but staying 12 hours at the airport, to Colombia, to Medellin. Yeah, Venezuela was so troublesome. You can't pay with credit card, otherwise you pay 25% more. 25 times more. You want to buy a sandwich, they have like Burger King, they have Subway. But when you have the local currency, the Bolivar, it's going to be very cheap. But since the exchange booth doesn't work, you can pay with credit card, but the credit card exchange rate is 25% higher, 25 times higher. So you pay like $25 for a sandwich or $1 in local currency, but you can't get hold of local currency, so it's impossible to get any food at the airport. Starving 12 hours, didn't leave the airport, afraid, getting robbed, I don't know. Chilling there, although they had Wi-Fi, which was okay. Then Medellin, falling in love with Medellin.
Alright, it's time to leave Venezuela already. Because we're leaving Venezuela with a very good impression, at least of the sunset.
Yeah.
Alright, hopefully we'll come back again one day.
Let's go to Colombia.
Welcome to Colombia. Now we're here in Medellin. Yeah, here. I'm in Uber right now. It's really nice. I love it here. Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
Beautiful city, good weather, the best weather in the world. Never getting more than 30 degrees, never getting less than 20 degrees Celsius. So it's always nice, never hot, never cold. And cheap, nice people, amazing, amazing place. Stayed there for like 10 days, enjoyed my time. But I didn't do too much sightseeing, just staying there, meeting local people, hanging out, eating food, going to the dentist, normal life, going to the gym. Then from there flying to Bogota, staying there for a short time. I didn't get a real impression this time. Then from Bogota flying to Panama.
So welcome to Panama. I'm here in the shopping mall. It was the worst immigration I've ever experienced. It took so long. It took like, I think 90 minutes in total. And they were really unfriendly. Couldn't speak English.
Panama. Yeah, Panama is the most expensive country in Central America. No, Belize is more expensive, I think. Panama is second most expensive. And also it's very developed though. It's still the most developed, high skyscrapers. They call it also the Dubai of Central America. So, yeah, spending there for a few days, seeing the old town. So since after I left the Dutch guy in Colombia, he went south, I met a Korean guy in Panama. We saw each other on a plane actually from Colombia, and we also met an American guy who told us he was in trouble. But we met him separately. So yeah, probably he's a scammer. I lost $20 on him. I gave him because he said he lost his stuff in the taxi, blah blah blah. But the poor Korean guy, he gave him $260. So sad.
So what I did, I sent Eric a mail and said, I changed my mind and come, let's meet up. I'm gonna give you $300. And he's gonna come to the mall now. He's supposed to be there here in the mall. And I'm gonna make a video with him to say, let's have a proof that you're gonna give me the money. And of course I won't give him the money. And then I will tell him that I met a Korean guy and let's see what he says about it. You know, I'm excited. So this is my friend Eric. Eric is from the US, but he works in Germany in Ramstein, the military base. Yeah. So where from the US are you?
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Chicago. Which part of Chicago?
Illinois.
Illinois is the state. And in Chicago, which district are you from?
Chicago, Illinois, South Side.
But there is something I want to confess to you. You know, I met Joseph. You know Joseph, the Korean guy? You know Joseph? Yeah, Joseph. He told me he gave you $265 actually. Why couldn't you make it to Honduras?
Because I didn't have enough.
But he told me on the email that you've been to Honduras and now you're still here.
Well, Joseph, okay, turn the camera. I'm going to tell you the truth, what's going on with me.
So Joseph is here.
Alright, again.
But he said he's on, he escaped the army.
That's really a pity. So yeah, that's how we basically met. And we went to the Panama Canal. Not too special, just boats getting through, just a canal, you know, just a famous canal. And then everything is super expensive there. Restaurants, food court, $10 for a meal, very expensive. Yeah, so they have nature, but again, tiring from traveling, don't want to do too many things. So getting to Costa Rica.
Alright, welcome to Costa Rica. We had a very comfortable night in the bus. And there's a taxi, but we don't have any money, you know. Let's see, we need to hitchhike.
From there, taking the bus to Costa Rica. And Costa Rica was again amazing, amazing. Not too expensive, beautiful nature. You saw, we went to the Manuel Antonio National Park, sawing sloths, these kind of animals, butterflies, frogs, raccoons, stuff like this. And beautiful nature, it's just great there. From there to the capital, San Jose, cool city. Stayed there for a week, meeting local people again. It's nice. I just like to be in the capital. You know, most tourists they go to the countryside. Beautiful nature here in Costa Rica, but I want to see what people are doing. Yeah, I want to see how people live. Local food. They had also a festival there. They had protests every day. Protest against the government. And I must say, Costa Rica was one of the best countries in Central America. I really want to come back. Then, from Costa Rica, I went to Nicaragua.
Alright, let's go to Nicaragua here from Costa Rica. We're very lucky to have the front seat.
Nicaragua was a bit scary in the beginning because not many tourists go there. There were warnings, travel warnings from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And in fact, we haven't seen, I was traveling with the Korean guy, Joseph, we haven't seen a single tourist in the entire country. And we've been to the main places, which are Granada, a beautiful old village at the lake, and Leon, a bit bigger, and also beautiful with churches, nice architecture, and surrounded by mountains, volcanoes and stuff. Also really, really nice. But we stayed in Managua, the capital, which was a bit shady. Like, I wouldn't recommend walking everywhere in town at night. Only certain parts of the city are safe. But at daytime you can pretty much go anywhere. So it's not too bad. And in fact there were many protests against the government. Because the president, Daniel Ortega, has a lot of shit going on, you know. He, he raped his stepdaughter, he killed lots of protests. Yeah? Like, tourists are safe. It's not safe for local people, in fact, like demonstrating, especially when you demonstrate against Daniel Ortega, that is not good. Yeah, I mean, it's not safe for you. So, but besides that, it's okay. As long as you don't participate in protests, it's gonna be okay. And I even went to a protest. Yeah, I went to interview some of the people and ask what they think. And there are in fact lots of people who like the president. So I even saw Daniel Ortega live on live on stage, and it was a coincidence. I just walked on the street and I see, oh, there are lots of people, so I went to check out, and suddenly he came and gave a speech. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, it was so amazing. Also, the country, it's very cheap. It's the cheapest country in Central America, I would say. Yeah, so buses cost like 3 cents for a bus ticket. Really cheap, really, really great. They don't have Uber though, so you only have the local app, which is a bit shitty. At least they have a taxi app, because some locations like Honduras do not even have any taxi apps. So Honduras, like Tegucigalpa, was the worst city in terms of navigation. Buses were like 60 cents something, but it's always difficult to find out where the buses go. Taxis cheat on you and there's no app, yeah, so it's a bit complicated. So, next stop, Honduras. Yeah.
Welcome to Honduras. This is my wonderful new apartment.
From Nicaragua going to Honduras. Honduras was in fact worse. Tegucigalpa is the most dangerous place on earth I've ever visited. Lots of, like, even the bakery having a shotgun, you know, like, I mean, all the bread is not worth $50, and they employ a guy with a shotgun. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And again, at daytime it's usually fine, depending where you go, downtown and stuff. I never had any problems in no country so far, luckily. The only thing I got pickpocketed was in Russia last year, but I never got robbed or anything. So, going from Managua to Tegucigalpa, staying a week there, enjoying the time, was still nice because it's not so expensive. Downtown, beautiful, nice churches. There's a hill with a Jesus statue, like most places have Jesus statue. Just here in Quito, where I'm right now in Ecuador, they have an angel, not a Jesus, but it looks almost like Jesus. So, visiting Jesus and then flying from Tegucigalpa to Roatan. It was like $80 or something, but the bus would be inconvenient, so I flew straight to Roatan, much more convenient. It was a nice little plane, very shaky, very scary, very beautiful view from the plane. It reminds me of the Culture Falls in Guyana. So, arriving in Roatan, it's paradise on earth. It's the most touristic destination in the entire Central America, I would say. Lots of foreigners, very, very safe compared to Tegucigalpa. Beautiful beaches, nice spots for diving, but not so cheap. It's safe, but it's at least twice as expensive as Tegucigalpa. Everything is quite pricey. $20 per night for a hotel room with a shared bathroom, not very good. And then from there I took the ferry to Utila. Utila is famous because it's the cheapest spot in the world to get certified in terms of diving. the underwater world, it's not so amazing there. It's just cheap, and only for the certificates. Just fun dives are not so cheap. I paid like $30 for a fun dive. That's not even more than water ton. But you can get like a dive, advanced diver for $230, including 2 fun dives and free accommodation. That's unbeatable in the world. So the cheapest diving school in the world is located in Utila. Yeah, they're also famous for whale sharks, but in fact they don't often see whale sharks. Especially recently, they're not migrating, they're ex-migrating. How to say? They're going away. They're going more to Mexico because climate change and the famous whale shark destination is vanishing. Less and less whale sharks coming to this island, even in high season. So, no whale sharks, cheap diving, and backpacker fun hippie life. That's what it is. Still cool. And from there, took the ferry back to the mainland, and from there the bus straight to San Salvador, the capital of El Salvador.
So, hola!
Brinco, bailemos.
So I finally arrived. This is San Salvador. Pretty guy. It's a really nice tune. They're playing chess with bottle lids.
El Salvador, you have US dollar, it was cool, just like here in Ecuador, very similar. So, but the city again, it's a bit like Tegucigalpa, not too safe, but not too bad either. At least they had Uber, so it was convenient to get around. But there is not too much to see. El Salvador is good for again nature tourism, but I'm fed up, after so much traveling. I don't want to see more volcanoes and stuff. I thought, okay, I'm going to Guatemala next. They also have lots of volcanoes, so I just skipped this stuff. So I stayed 5 days in El Salvador, checked the culture. They had this food, these little pancakes. Oh gosh, I forgot how they call it. They were alright, very delicious. People were nice, so I enjoyed my time there as well. And from there I took the bus to Guatemala City, very convenient, 4 or 5 hour ride, and Guatemala City is again very nice.
Welcome to Guatemala. So we're entering the lava zone here. What we gonna do? We can't leave him behind. This is the beautiful artificial town on top of the hill. Back to Guatemala City in the autobus.
A nice place, just like I wanted. Developed, cheap, and convenient. Uber, I had a beautiful apartment in the city center. It was, for me, the best place to stay because I love big cities. Yeah, Costa Rica would be the best for tourists, but for me, I like Guatemala the most. Very convenient, big, cheap city. Not too safe though. At night, lots of crime happening, crime scenes. But never happened anything to me. Everybody got robbed once in their life. But that happens, same like Colombia. Yeah, it's not too bad. If you just be careful, you're gonna be fine. Downtown, beautiful churches. You can go to Antigua, it's an old town, very close to Guatemala City. Perfect for a day trip. And after spending a week there, enjoying my time so much that I almost want to extend my stay, I took the bus to Tikal. Tikal near Flores is famous for the Maya ruins. Beautiful old ruins deep in the jungle, amazing, even better than Chichen Itza in Mexico where I've been later. It has the flair, is better, less touristy, and it's more, it's just beautiful. You walk and you're almost alone, you can see toucans, I didn't see but other tourists saw toucans, monkeys. It is a very magical atmosphere and I really enjoyed my time in Tikal. So, but it's just a day trip, again it was not so cheap, like $20 for a day, and then from there I went to Belize.
So, welcome to Belize.
Belize, last destination in Central America. and I only stayed there one night. It's very expensive, so the most expensive destination. And it's very Caribbean flair, which I like. Very relaxed, laid-back, cool people. Most people are black, Garifungas, so they call it. I just uploaded my Belize vlog, and there was like some girl commenting, "Oh, we are not black people, we are Garifungas." Yeah, I don't know. They are black. I don't know exactly so much, and I don't make too much research for all the destinations I go to. Yeah, it's just too tiring. So anyway, I enjoyed my time. I loved the atmosphere, the relaxed vibes. Yeah, but the capital, Belize City, has a reputation for not being safe, but I guess it's still better than Tegucigalpa. So I actually spent a little in the south. There was like a beach city, was cool one night, and from there going to Mexico. Then taking the night bus from Belize City to Merida. Merida, Mexico, Merida. I fell in love with Mexico. Again, when I would say the top Latin countries for me are Mexico, Colombia, and Ecuador, because it's cheap, it's beautiful. Mexico is very safe. In fact, Yucatan, a very nice place. Beautiful people, nice food. It's just, I dream. I love this city. Really, I love Merida, and I wish I want to come back. I want to buy a house there. It's very cheap. Many foreigners, in fact, buying houses in Mexico, Merida, because you get like a 2-bedroom apartment for $30,000 and then they're making an Airbnb and charging $30 per night. It's pretty good, I think, and I want to do the same. Maybe in the future, I don't know. Staying there for a few days, and then reunion with Annette. Annette, remember, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand. Yeah? Annette come back after the bad experience. She didn't give up and come back to travel. And we had another bad experience this time in the beginning. Her flight was cancelled, so she was 24 hours late. And because of this, we couldn't get a rental car. And our shitty rental car company, it's called Billiger Mietwagen, by the way. I always recommended this in the past, but now I say no more. Because if you're late to pick up the rental car, you lose the right to get the car and they will not refund you anything. That's unbelievable. Another story. Bad luck with Annette again, but this was the only thing this time. So bad beginning, couldn't get a car. We met in Cancun, in fact. We just spent the night. Cancun is just party city and not too much to see. So from Cancun we went to Playa del Carmen, also a nice beach town. We did a day trip to Cozumel, wasn't too cool. Was alright. And Playa del Carmen, alright. I like Merida more, it's more culture. Like Playa del Carmen is too touristy. Then, from Playa del Carmen, we took the Ado bus to Merida. Back to Merida, but this time for the Day of the Dead. Very nice festival, people dressing up, and it's just cool. We even bought a piñata, put it in our Airbnb, and had a lot of fun. Day of the Dead. It's like Halloween, but a bit different. So also met other friends there, and just had a great time. So, Merida, a few days, then going to Valladolid because it's very close to Chichen Itza. Just one night, everything was very tight scheduled with Annette because she just had like short vacation, not like me traveling all year. So we went one night only, went to Chichen Itza, it was cool, but I would still prefer Tikal. It was still worth it if you dare go take a look. It's a world wonder after all, Tikal isn't. Because they also have some shadow plays. This one temple might be cooler, but in general, Tikal has a better atmosphere. Almost like Angkor Wat. Tikal reminded me a lot of Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is also amazing, but that was like 2013 up in there, I guess. Then from Valladolid, Tulum. Tulum have also beautiful ruins at the beach. Very nice little beach town. But it's fine, it's also a bit more expensive touristy like Playa del Carmen. And from there back to Cancun. From Cancun taking a day trip to Isla de Mujeres, which had the best beaches I've seen this year. Beautiful blue turquoise water. Not good for snorkeling, no coral reefs, but great beaches, great water, and just beautiful, I think. It's clear water. It's just fascinating. So we chilled there because Annette also likes beaches. So just chilling there at the beach. Going back to Cancun, flying to Cuba.
So welcome to Cuba.
Then we flew to Cuba, $80 or something like this. And Cuba, again, very, very special country, very unique. It reminds me of North Korea. No internet, or like very difficult internet, no big shops. You don't find like H&M or Zara or stuff. Like they are isolated, yeah, because they have the US trade embargo, so the problems with trading, so very, very underdeveloped place, but this has a special charm. I think when it gets more developed, it will not be so special anymore, because now you see old-timer all around the country, everywhere, which is just very interesting, you know, to see all these old-timers. So we went from Havana to Trinidad, old town, beautiful nature, old architecture, nice and cheap alcohol. $1 mojitos, $1 Cuba Libres, like alcohol. I gained weight in Cuba because also not many vegetables are available. They don't have many supermarkets. Yeah, and the supermarkets mostly have canned food and stuff, you know, conserved food. So we had to eat lots of like Cuban sandwiches, very delicious, but I gained weight, alcohol, yeah. Anyway, it was nice. 3 days we spent there, going to Havana, checking out Havana, doing a day trip to Vinales, where they make the tobacco, the cigars and stuff. And then also a trip to Veradero because of the beach. But again, Isla Mujeres was better and the taxi was way too expensive. The taxi driver cheated us $120 because he said like $60, but then he said, oh, each way, taxi drivers. And we argued 3 hours. Like I was saying, we don't pay him. Go away, you know, you should be honest in the beginning. But the girls, like it was not only Annette, there was also this other girl I met in Belize. I met her in Tikal, in fact. Kelly, we traveled also together, so she came back because for her in Florida it's also cheap to go to Cuba. So she also came and the girl said, she's giving me money, we are so annoyed by him, you know. So we paid him after all, very expensive, but nothing to do, $40 for a taxi ride, each, you know. So, yeah, one of the bad experiences you have this when you travel, scams, or this just dishonest taxi drivers. Taxi drivers are usually the worst, no matter where you go. That's why I like places where you can use Uber and stuff. But Cuba doesn't have Uber because there's no internet. You just have those internet parks where you have to purchase like a voucher and then you can go online for very slow speeds for $1 an hour. Very inconvenient, but yeah, still better than North Korea. Then from Cuba, say goodbye to Annette and Kelly and I fly back to Colombia.
So welcome back to Colombia.
Bogota, Colombia again, one of my favorite countries because cheap, convenient, and I love coffee. So again to Bogota, again to Medellin, meeting my old friend Scott, the guy I met in Taiwan a couple of years ago, and I also met in Baltimore Airport. He's a tour guide now, just taking a rest for the off season, and in fact it's a good choice. Medellin, perfect weather, cheap, and it's just great. So a week there, going to Guatapé this time, which I missed the first time. Pablo Paisa, I forgot the name, this little village on the hill. And back to Bogota, also nice, I love Bogota. And that was the last place before I'm here in Quito.
Welcome to Ecuador.
I actually flew here just the last day of November or first day of December, I forgot. And I'm still here. I'm going to spend the entire December here because I just want to relax, record the yearly summary, and review my year, enjoy the good cheap prices. Like I said, I have Uber. It's safe. It's not the safest Latin countries. It's cheap, not the cheapest, but it's very cheap, cheaper than average. And it's just nice, beautiful, not hot. It's like at the equator, but it's cold because Quito is the highest capital in the world.
Get up. It's a party over here. Ain't nobody on the wall. We got our hands in the air. Little mama having a ball, shaking a derriere. Hating women like nah, but your boys like yeah. Let me get a handful of that right there. Now turn around and let it drop. Do it with no hands, tongue tied.
Alright, so from all this way, I had to walk maybe 20 minutes, and now I'm this beautiful church.
All I can say is damn. You can tell I'm turned on by the front of my pants. You're out for the night, but I'm down for the weekend. On a quest to find the door to the party I can creep in. Get it on the floor and have fun without thinking. The spot's jam-packed with the visually pleasing. I struck gold, I don't think that I'll be leaving anytime soon. I'm getting used to the people in this monsoon. Plus little mama still dancing on my harpoon. Get me breaking the sweat, leaving this hot room.
Yeah, 3,200 meters something. So it's in fact a bit cold. You have to go out with jacket, even though it's so close at the equator. So it can get warm when it's sunny. You can wear a t-shirt, but at night you pretty much always have to wear a jacket every single day, all year round. So also did a week in Galapagos, world famous Galapagos, including flight. It's not too expensive. 500 euro 1 week, including flight, so $600. Not cheap, but not as expensive as many people say. And totally worth it if you love nature and animals. It's the best place in the world. You can snuggle with sea lions, get very close to them, swim. Swimming is amazing. They swim with sea lions. Close to the giant turtles, this Darwin turtle, you can touch them. You can tease them. I wouldn't recommend that. And yeah, it was very relaxing in Galapagos. I enjoyed it. The only thing Galapagos, again, it's inconvenient. They don't have Uber and stuff, but it's a village. And therefore they also don't have any supermarkets. So food is not convenient, restaurants are expensive, boats are expensive between the islands, like $25 each way. So spend over $100 on boats. And yeah, that's basically it.
Got a coffee, but this guy is occupying my seat. What should I do? Sea lion.
So just came back last week, and now I'm here in Quito celebrating Christmas and New Year. And then yesterday I booked my ticket to Peru, which this is where the trip continues. Peru, next destination. 3rd January, so this is gonna be for the next year. Machu Picchu and the stuff, and then South America, and I don't know, I will see. I go with the flow. But right now I enjoy my life so much, and I want to record this to have a memory, because I believe in 10 years it will be very valuable, and hopefully it was also interesting for you guys to watch. I don't want to be bragging too much with traveling so many places. I also want to tell you about the downsides, you know. It gets lonely, yeah, you meet many people, friends on the road, but again, you always leave behind, make new friends and stuff, which is cool, but on the long run, I miss a stable life. And going to gym is also more expensive if you don't have a membership. Like one time, like here I pay $3 for a one-time gym, a week $10, lucky. It's not always so cheap. Always moving house, living out of the luggage is inconvenient. Carrying the stuff around. Flights, I always travel with hand luggage. That was inconvenient, like a little bit over the limit, but we don't argue, wear a bit more clothes so it fits. So far I never had to pay extra, but it's still it's like a little uncomfortable. Yeah, but I don't want to. I saved I think $500 this year just by doing this. But so it's worth a little discomfort at the airport when I check your luggage and say, "Oh, you have over luggage, you have to pay." Like, no, let me wear my jacket. Let me wear my magic jacket. Yeah, and watch out, it's gonna be alright. And it is alright in fact. So I calculate everything. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to travel this world. All the people I want to thank for the hospitality, staying I guess in over 100 Airbnb apartments this year, and I don't know if it's 100, less I guess, 60, 70. And just having a good life, but we also want to tell you that there are these little downsides, but it's totally worth it. Yeah? So what I'm doing, I'm also renting Airbnb apartments in Taipei, my own apartment, so I can earn some money when I travel. And I teach German on the road. Yeah, so I teach German on Skype. I had a German class this morning with a 12-year-old girl talking about the Roman Empire, stuff like this. It's kind of convenient. It's relatively fun most of the time until the students want to talk too much about grammar. So I enjoy it, and it's enough to travel. So I tell you, my budget is a little bit more than $1,000 a month. Not too much, but you see, I can have a good life. Don't need to stay in hostel dorms, and still can go places like Galapagos, taking flights to Culture Falls, going to the expensive Caribbean, US, Disney World. Like on those countries, I just spend a bit more. I had to go to my savings, but I think the entire year, I would calculate $15,000. 15, not too much. Yeah, well, not too cheap, but not too much. $15,000 a year. That is the price of living your dream. So, stay tuned. More vlogs are coming up, and hopefully, if you love traveling, you can also fulfill your dream. If you're on the road, hit me up. My YouTube videos are usually delayed a bit, so check my Instagram for more recent posts, so you know where I am. I also tell my trips, but in fact I've never met a follower yet. I met some students, but not a follower yet. But hopefully in the future I'm happy to meet any people, so I'm also going to couch surfing meetups and stuff. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, stay tuned, and Happy New Year!
So it's time for a New Year's party. Oh, my head is a bit wrong. I look very silly. I will certainly not upload this on YouTube.